This video was brought to you by YugioMInt.com. Check out their selection of over 20,000 cards and prices better than TCG Player.
Alright, what's up YouTube? I'm Cool40 here with the good friend, The Claw. We're going to be doing a Angel Feather deck profile for you guys. Doing a special in-depth analysis. But first, please check out YugioMInt.com. They're my good friend and savior. You guys should check them out for the Crusaders of Lornia game that they've been producing, along with a lot of your trading card game needs. So, let's dig into the deck profile. We're going to do this in the style of going down through the grades, triggers, amongst other things, and we do have a complete G-zone to show you guys. So, first off, for Nociel. Explain why this card's good.
Nociel allows you to generate hand advantage in this game, which is obviously a big thing in this deck. Each time you put a Nociel in, you get a Counterblast 1 and put it into your hand. And that is by far probably one of the greatest effects of the game, because your grade 2 is also going to put things in your hand. Your grade 1 is a guard that allows you to generate even more hand advantage. And it's just an all-around good card because it allows you to search out anything when it's placed on the Vanguard circle. So if you don't have your Stride Fodder and it's in the damage zone, you can get your Stride Fodder. You can get a No-Seal if you need that, or you can grab basically just anything that you need. So it gives your deck great versatility over any of the other ones. I know some of the other decks play the Graviel, but Graviel is kind of a slower start, and it doesn't allow you to have the hand advantage when it's ridden. So it's kind of give or take. A lot of people, some play 5 and other people play 4. I stick with just Nociel and took out the Graviel. So.
Yep, as we mentioned, there are just 4 grade 3s in this deck. Obviously, you're going to be betting on this to be your engine for most of the game. Obviously, whatever card advantage you can render with this is very important to the deck. Next up is the starters. So, why are we playing the Young Hope Child?
There's a controversy between this one and the Gibri 1 that allows you to look at 2 cards and put one in and then pull one. This is better because it's not on G-Break, and I feel like the format right now is all about getting rid of the starters. You're playing Shadow Paladins, which have the Abyss. You have Gear Chronicle, which have the Grade 2. So you're not going to really have a way to use that if it's a GB1. This you can use on, if you go second, or if you go first, they're going to hit you for damage, so this way you can automatically use it if you see your grade 3 or whatever you need. It's probably an all-around better card just because it lets you pull anything, and it doesn't have to be face up, so it can counterblast and pull the card that it counterblasts, which is really good.
One Dr. Royd, we don't really need to explain why it's banned.
Yeah.
Or limited to 1, excuse me. 3 vanilla stands, 4 of the Restander, and 4 Happy Bell, Nociel. So why are we playing 12 stands here?
We have went back and forth on this and tested this all over the place. 12 stand is better because in a format where G-Guard is a thing, you're going to want to get off as many attacks as you can. And crit triggers, if you hit them off of this card, well, if you have nothing to restand, then it's just a dead trigger. Because these are going back into your deck, so you're generating another stand, and you're getting that chance to hit another stand. So with this, you're maximizing your attacks, and your numbers are pretty big at all points in time with your grade 2s and stuff like that. So basically 12 stand in this deck is going to be your go-to just for the number of attacks you can get. And your triggers are never dead because you always have rested units.
And then Nociel is just another name to Nociel.
Yes, Nociel, you can rescue 1, hit that. If you have the Nociel up on your opponent's turn, not only do you get the 5k, but you also put the 10k back in your hand. So
I know you were considering crits for a little while, but
yes.
Extra stance. And as long as you're going into a match without your opponent having knowledge of you not playing criticals, your opponent will basically play the way that you want to with them thinking that you're playing criticals. And then last but not least, 4 heals, pretty self-explanatory.
Go back to the deck.
Alright. So, let's get into the grade 1s. So, 4 Stride Fodders.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty self-explanatory too, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't play enough grade 3s to not have them.
4 of the Nociels?
Yes, this is probably your MVP card. It's going to be your MVP no matter what, just because of the grade 3.
Yeah, because when you're on the guarding, you can do this and produce more combos.
Yeah. No wonder it's $30.
Next up, you're only playing one.
Yes.
1,000 Ray. Explain why.
Okay, so I was playing at Nationals. I was playing 2, and really, it's an all-around good card. Don't get me wrong, but I've also changed the deck because this deck actually, if you ride this, it's going to be your best bet. You want to try to ride it as much as you can, and because late game it just kind of falls off unless you can restand it and attack with it. But most of the time, it's going to be in your back. So I went down to 1 to actually go ahead and play 3 of another card, but I just don't feel like this is, This card is what I went to. Malik, if anybody doesn't know what it does, you just, whenever it's called from the damage, or the damage zone, it gets a skill that after it boosts or it attacks, it gets to rescue 1. And this, it just allows you so much more versatility with the damage zone and the Nociel.
All those stand triggers.
And all the stand triggers, because you can throw this out to attack with another one boosting it and get both effects, because they are not once per turn effects. They are as many times as it boosts and many times as it attacks. So getting the rescue off in the deck is probably more relevant than having these that are going to sit there and typically are going to be destroyed or bounced, since Gear Chronicle is number 1 in the format. So that's another reason I'm going to play one of those.
And then I see you're playing for Dr. Red Remnon as your perfect shield. Why not the Unflipper?
The Unflipper was really good, the fact that we don't have the Refros, but the Rescue 1 is actually giving you more versatility now, and I guess it kind of fakes out your opponent, because your opponent expects you to leave your 1 up in your damage zone and not use Nociel. It kind of throws off your opponent when you counterblast it down, but this Rescue ability is probably another great effect for the Nociel on the defense. You get a Rescue 1 as long as you have 1 face up and you counterblast 1. So not only do you get to check for a trigger, but you also get to check for another Nociel and proceed to gain hand advantage again. So,
explaining the defense play here, these really need to be mentioned. Every time a card swapped out of the damage zone, 2k to the Vanguard, which is extremely beautiful for your deck. This should have been the card to get hit, not Remnon. Or for the Grade 2 Nociel, which we've already explained. Just additional swapping throughout, gaining extra advantage.
3 of the black cloves.
Alright, so why 3 him?
Okay, so this deck is based on attacks, like I said earlier, with the stand triggers. So you're trying to maximize your number of attacks. Now this plus the Grade 1 makes for stupid plays. Because Malik's skill does go off when this calls it, and you're not only calling this, but you're getting to counterblast 1, and you're getting to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and you get to put 1 in there. Now, the chance that you didn't get to stride, if you put a Nociel in after her skill resolves and you call something, you can then counterblast and put that Nociel in your hand. So it's giving you more advantage in the game in case you don't get to stride, because I know stride is a big thing in this format. So that's why I decided to play 3 of these and just combo it with the Malik. And I mean, at that point, you don't even have to play another column, because the slice does exactly what you would do, and you just don't have to call the columns from your hand. So that's maintaining the hand advantage.
Once again, 1 million right here.
Same
Logic for the Grade 1.
Logic as the Grade 1. I'm not going to play more than 1, because, like I said, typically in a format where you see gears and shadows and stuff like that, it's going to just get bounced or retired. There's really no point in having that. It's a great Vanguard. That's about it.
And then your last card in your deck.
Yeah, the tech card. It's really cool. Whenever it's put to the damage zone, or whenever it's put to the drop zone, no matter whether it's a heal trigger or a rescue ability, it comes back to the board. So it comes back. Now, if it's done by a rescue ability, it gains 3k. So it becomes a 12k attacker. Again, it's just another attack column. I mean, you can rescue it out with the stand trigger and then be able to call that over top of any Grade 2 that's on the board that didn't get to restand. Basically, it's giving you a free attack as long as they don't hit a trigger. Gear Chronicle status.
Yep. Alright. I'm kind of getting into some of the strides here. Sabreeze?
Sabreeze. We took it out and then put it back in. It's just a good card because now the deck is more focused on the G-Break status. Before it wasn't, because it was just more focused on hitting Nociel and going, so you didn't want to waste your counterblast. This way, you just have a way to get to your G-Break and you can start punishing your opponent.
Raziel?
This one is just for the fact that you can retire, or put back your entire damage zone. A lot of times you're hitting the Nociel triggers, and if you're not putting them in your hand because you have to counterblast them, you just get to put a free, however many are in your damage zone. And this plus with the Broken Heart on board is kind of broken.
3 Nociels.
Yeah, 3 Nociels. Nociel is basically your win condition in the deck. It used to be that Graviel and Raphael combos were definitely your power play, but this card just allows with the Maliks and with the Harwitz. I mean, it gets kind of ridiculous because you call the Harwit and the Malik with this, and now you have another column to be able to call something else out off the damage zone that are face up, and you can choose face down cards with this. It's just damage zone recycling.
All right, 2 Raphael.
Yep. It's just really hard to play 4. I want to play 4. I really do. But, I mean, with the way that the format is and you only play 4 grade 3s, you have to play other cards that you can get rid of. And not hinder yourself. But that's why I only play 2. It's definitely a good card, don't get me wrong.
2 Gabrielle.
2 of the Gabriels. The reason that I took down 4 was actually behind the Repharos. It's not as good now because it sucks that you can't put more Repharos back in your deck and recycle your damage. And so that one counterblast, I use it for a power play. If I know my opponent only has 4 cards in their hand or whatever, it's only going to be my one power play because Nociel does the exact same thing for free. I just don't get 5 drive checks.
All right, on to the Guardians. Protect
Broken Heart.
Protect Broken Heart.
That's about it.
Card. Yeah. Oscar.
I think this card's underrated. I know a lot of people are starting to play more of it now, but I think it's an underrated card. The reason I play it is because having a 25k shield is pretty good, especially with some of the numbers that you start to see in this game. So that's why I went ahead and put in a screw, because technically it's really good.
Feel.
Yeah, 1 generic. I mean, you can't play a deck without at least 1 generic.
And then probably the one of the best cards in your deck, Nociel.
Yeah, this is your best. I wouldn't play 4 just because, I mean, you don't want to deck yourself out. That's a really big problem with the deck. If you find a deck that's going to be able to just go toe-to-toe with you and be able to, keep going, you're going to end up decking yourself out. So 3 is perfect.
That's one of the reasons why a lot of the builds are playing the 1 Legion Mate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Legion Mate. I mean, it just wastes me a turn that I could stride. And with this deck, like I said, it's more attack-based heavy. Getting off different columns, and like I said, the Harwit Malik play that's basically what it is. It's not, I'm going to sit and just push forward. You just have to kind of push them turn after turn and keep their hand low.
Alright guys, well I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Please check out YugioMInt.com for all of you guys' trading card game needs. Please check out the promo code in the description as well. You can save you guys a little bit of money on your orders. And we're out guys. Peace.